This is video 2 in the work at home as a virtual assistant. You could start now with little to no experience series. And in the last video, I discussed what is a virtual assistant, the skills you need to become a virtual assistant, getting experience and building a portfolio, and how to get your first clients. Now, in this video, I am going to elaborate more on the skills that you need to become a virtual assistant. Then I'm going to talk about mindset and expressing a willingness to learn new skills and continuing education. So, when it comes to skills, I mostly spoke about hard skills. Hard skills in the first video. Then I'm going to the other skills. So first, in the first video, I spoke about the hard skills. Now, hard skills are skills that you have to either go to school, some type of schooling, or take some type of training to learn in order to provide services as a virtual assistant. And examples of those skills are administrative skills such as typing, document creation, formation, making phone call, managing email accounts, data entry, making travel arrangements, booking flights, design, graphic, creative skills, creating logos, social media graphics and illustrations, and just graphic design in general. Social media skills, content creation, scheduling and posting, engagement, social media management, create social media pages, SEO and lead generation, and technical skills such as building websites, blogs, landing and or opt-in pages, web design, and you must know how to use software and various types of software, and know how to troubleshoot when something goes wrong. Like if a software you are using is not working, you have to be able to learn how to troubleshoot, find out what's the matter in order to get things back on track. So those are the hard skills, and the soft skills are skills that you have naturally. You can, for example, communication skills. Now, that since communication skills are described as soft skill, I still say that for some people, they may have to take some training, whether it be taking a course, or they can either self-train by, to improve their communication skills. So communication is considered a soft skill, and those are skills that just come, naturally. But in my opinion, some of these soft skills you would need to, get some training, or you can train yourself. You can get some training by taking a course, but you can also train yourself by practicing and getting better and better at it. So you will need communication skills. You need to know how to communicate with your clients using email, phone, and a lot of people use Zoom now to communicate with their clients back and forth. And that's a bit easier than, back and forth between emails. Even though I would say that you can use various communication tools to communicate with your clients. I communicate with my clients via email, Zoom, even text. So those three are my main communication outlets to communicate with my clients. So, and sometimes by phone. So for me, it's Zoom, text, email, and phone. So I use those all together in order to communicate with my clients. And you communicate with your clients, following up with your clients, how you coming along with their projects. And if either you working by yourself or you working with a team, you have to keep the client updated with how the client is going, how the project is going. If there's any problems and or concerns or questions that arise, you need to communicate with your clients. And establish beginning dates and due dates of assignments. Just communicating about all those type of things when it comes to assignments. Then project management, that's another soft skill. You need to devise and implement strategies to effectively manage your clients' projects and assignments. And there's project management tools like Monday, Trello, Desado that you can use to help you manage client projects and assignments, to help you from beginning to end of the project and assignment, tracking progress and making sure everything is done by the due dates. And if you're working with a team, communicate with your team. You all collaborate on who does what and when to have it finished. For example, you may have a huge project you're working on during the month, and you say, well, Susie will have her part done by the 10th. Edward will have his part completed by the 15th. And let's have the whole project completed by the end of the month. So I'm just using that as an example. And be able to work as a team if you're working with one or more people. You have to be able to work as a team. And teamwork is very big. When I was in college, my school encouraged teamwork. I worked on team papers. Every week we had a paper we had to do. We had our individual paper we had to write. Then we had our team paper we had to write. So teamwork, if you're working with one or more people, is very important to learn how to work with other people. Okay, time management. You have to, learn how to manage your time, especially if you have more than one client. You have to manage time between their projects and assignments. Keep track on whose project and who want this project and assignment, who wants this project assignment, so you won't get your client's work mixed up. And that goes back to the project management tools such as Monday, Trello, Desado. Those are great at, helping you with time management as well. Have everything, start projects ahead of time or on time, and to have them completed by deadlines. Then originality and creativity. Be able to brainstorm original creative ideas. Especially if you're creating content, or let's say if you're designing a graphic or you're creating content, you need originality and creativity for those skills. For example, I'm going to use newsletter that I create for my client every month. So ever since December of last year, I have been creating a monthly newsletter for my client. And every month I come up with a unique theme, and these themes are centered around the seasons, the holidays, or events. So, you know, I have to get in my originality and creative persona for the newsletter creation. Organizational skills. You have to be able to organize. You have to be able to organize your clients, plural, work. You know, if you have more than one client, you have to have their assignments organized. You can't get things mixed up, or you'll be complete. For example, let's say if you have like two clients who want you to manage their social media accounts. If you're not organized, you can make a boo-boo and upload one client's post to the other client's post, and you have to separate the client's other work as well. For example, separate your client's work by folders. You know, so that's one example of how you need to have organizational skills. And being dependent and reliable. So if you say you're gonna, let's say you and your client say, let's meet Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, be sure to show up. You know, you have to show up to show that you're dependable, reliable, complete assignments and projects when they are due. Your client says, I would like to have this assignment by the end of September. Have that assignment ready by the end of September. And if something jumps up, you know, life happens sometimes. You have to let your client know. That's part of communication. And you all can negotiate, you know, how y'all will work around that. You know, your client may have something jump up in their life too that may knock things a little off track. And so y'all talk about it and negotiate and see what you can do to maneuver around that. All right, expressing a willingness to learn. Okay, so you have to be able to be willing to learn new skills as you go along. Now, let's say if you come to the virtual assistant table with only one skill, okay, that's great. You could start offering services, providing those skills. Like, let's say if you are good with Microsoft Office Suite, you know, you can create documents, you can fill in Excel sheets for clients who may need some data put in Excel sheets. You could start there. And as you go along, you can continue to learn new skills by taking courses, or you can self-train yourself. So I say all that to say, if you have only one skill, don't worry about it. Just get started with that skill and go and build upon your skill sets as you go along. Add this skill. Once you master that skill, you can move on to another one. And I would like to use the newsletter example again. Now, sometimes you have to learn as you go along too, because my client asked me, do you do newsletters? And I said, no, I've never done a newsletter before December 2022. I was familiar with newsletters, but never have done one. And so that was new for me. I was willing to take on the challenge and create newsletters. I was a little nervous. I was like, okay, I'm you know, I was like, I hope I do a good job with this, but I'm going to take up the challenge and have faith and do it. And I did it, and I'm enjoying doing this newsletter every month. I'm doing a great job, and it was not as hard as I thought it would be. And starting in September, I just finished August newsletter, and September would be 10 months that I would have been doing this, that I have been doing this newsletter. So, you know, that comes into the last point I want to make about cultivating a positive mindset, building your confidence, and learning new skills come with confidence. You might be hesitant Like if your client asks you, have you ever, do you do this or do you do that? You say no. And one thing you need to, if you're the type of person that's really love to learn, you willing to learn, you have to let your client know that. Because on my resumes, I put that I am willing to learn new things. So when my client came to me back in December about creating a newsletter, I told her I never created a newsletter before, but I'm willing to, take on the challenge and learn, because learning new skills and taking on challenges like that, do something that you never done before, that's building up your confidence and your skills. And you have to have a positive mindset. You have to have a can-do mindset. Even if you have never done that skill before, you have to yes, I can do it. I never done it, but I can do it, and I'm up for the challenge. And if you make mistakes, you can learn from those mistakes. And, I think about a quote that says, excuse me, that's what I said earlier, challenge yourself with a new skill. That's my saying. But this saying that goes along with that saying by former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, she said, do something every day that scares you. Meaning, if there's something you need to do, it could be some type of fear you have, a phobia, or something you never done before and you're a little nervous, do it with fear. That's how you build your confidence and, that can-do mindset. So, if you never done something before, then go ahead and do it, and you'll thank yourself for it later, because you will be just added some new skill to your resume. So now that I have been doing this newsletter for 9 months now, going on 10 months, I can now add that newsletter, doing newsletters, create newsletters to my resume. Okay, so I am going to recap. So I talked about in this video before I close out that express a willingness to learn new skills, and that also I went into a little bit more about soft skills, because I talked about the hard skills in the first video. Soft skills such as communication, teamwork, time management, originality, creativity, organizational skills, and being dependable and reliable. Those are a few. There's a lot more, but you now get the idea what are soft skills if you haven't had any idea what they are before. And expressing a willingness to learn new skills by challenging yourself. If a client asks you, do you do this, do you do that, be willing to learn how to do it, learn as they go along. And I want to say that clients will support you in that. I mean, if they see that you have done a great job on other work that you've done for them, and you tell them, well, I never done this before, but I'm willing to learn and grow with it, they'll support you, and they have the confidence in you because they've seen your other work. So that's the great thing about expressing a willingness to learn new skills. And then last, I talked about cultivating a positive mindset, building your confidence, having a can-do mindset, making mistakes and learning from them, challenging yourself to learn new skills, even if you are hesitant to. And I use the newsletter, the monthly newsletter example that I have been doing for my clients since December 2022 as an example. Now, another thing that I want to throw in there too, I said I'm going to close out, but it's a lot. I promise this is the last that you should do, as well as, and this part is soft skills, like making suggestions to your clients of things that you can do that will make the project and or assignment that you are working on for your client better. For example, if you are doing social media posting and scheduling and posting for your client, and your client, they may be using a tool that is not that great. For example, let's say if they don't want to upgrade to a paid plan, but they want to stay on a free plan, and you know of a social media scheduling tool that offers more posting and scheduling on a free plan, let your clients know. Or let's say if you think that your client would do well to post their content on a social media platform. For example, my client currently have me posting scheduled content on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, those are the only three there. Now, I suggested to her last week that it would be great for her to, consider me posting for her on Pinterest. Now, if you're familiar with Pinterest, Pinterest is a visual search engine that a lot of people, businesses, and companies use. It's a great source to get free traffic to your website. And since she has a website, Pinterest would be a great source of free traffic, because she's trying to grow her nonprofit. So, I suggested to her that she would do a great job on Pinterest, because one of the reasons being that Pinterest is a source of free traffic, and she could get more exposure to her business via her website. So like, if you have any suggestions that'll help your client improve the growth of their business, based on your skill or your industry, let them know. They'll be happy to hear your suggestions. They'll be open. I find most clients are open to suggestions, because one of the things as a virtual assistant, you have to help your clients, look at things or let them know about tools and features of different products and software that will improve the growth of their business. So whether you're a tech virtual assistant, or you're an admin virtual assistant, or you just do some of everything, you will need to help your clients with suggestions about if you see anywhere they can use some improvement. Okay, so that's it of this video. the second part. We'll be back soon with the last part of this series soon. Been liking this series. Thumbs up this video, and I'm going to put the link to the other video down in the description so you view that too. I suggest looking at the first video first. I mean, if you just happen to look at this one first, go back and look at the first one, and I'm going to make a playlist out of this series. And just thumbs up this video, share it out, hit the subscribe button, put on your notifications, and let me know in the comments if this video and the entire series so far has been helpful. And I'll talk to you soon.